as well, right? All right, let's get started. Thank you very much for coming to my session. My name is Jung Soo-kim. I'm a project manager at SK Telecom. So I'm going to talk about SQ, AF-Media storage server today. SQ is the brand name of SK Telecom storage solution, and AF-Media is the model. So I'm here to, I'm not here to talk about or to show off our storage server, but I'd like to more talk about how we could build our enterprise storage system with OCP. And today I'd like to talk about why Telco is building or making all-flash storage server and transformation of 5G network. Also, I'd like to talk about hardware, open hardware, and software project at SK Telecom. And our approaches in developing storage system in harsh environment, especially in South Korea. I will go over more details about AF-Media server and future work and future plan for NV array, which is the NVMe SSD array. So why Telco care about the SK Telecom? I've gotten a lot of questions from people. Are you guys really serious about developing storage system? Or are you working with the OEM, ODM vendor to build system? No, we didn't build with OEM or ODM vendors. We built by ourselves. SK Telecom is the biggest mobile network operator in South Korea. We have two subsidiaries. One is SK Hynix, the other one is SK Broadband. As you all may know, SK Hynix makes DRAM and NAND chip. They are number 2 in DRAM and number 5 in NAND Flash market. SK Telecom is transforming our network to 5G network. So we are preparing 5G infrastructure, and we also have various kinds of mobile applications. SK Broadband provide internet access service. They have VPN service. They have the video service. The quality of video is changing from Full HD to UHD. So they need more capacity, and they need low latency I/O. They need more bandwidth. So our primary target of all flash storage server is for video streaming for SK Broadband. I heard a lot of 5G work from the OCP Summit, and SK Telecom is also preparing for 5G network. So in the 5G network, there will be a lot of devices to connect our network. For example, IoT sensors, smart cars, or M2M, machine-to-machine communication. Uncountable number of devices will be connected to our network. So the Telconet work is relatively close and better lock. And we need to change our current network to enable 5G service. So to enable the new infrastructure, it should be programmable and scalable and flexible. Most of all, it should be cost effective. So SK Telecom is preparing 5G new infrastructure with software-defined technologies based on the open hardware and open software. In SK Telecom, we have various different kind of open software hardware projects. In open software side, there's an OpenStack for virtualization and management of the network. So we also have an open network OS project and stack for scale-out storage, cloud foundry, and hardware. On open hardware side, we recently joined OCP as a board member, and we also joined Telecom Infra Project KIT as a board member. So we will developing and open our own flash storage system and server switches and hyper-specific hardware in the future. So when I took this project last year, I felt like I middle of nowhere. So South Korea is known for cell phone makers like Samsung, LG, but we have a great building construction company where we have great car builders, Hyundai, Kia, where we have plant builder, where we have a shipbuilder. But there was no or few companies who develop enterprise storage system in our country. So I was lost. So how we solve the problem? So we make two approaches. One is building local ecosystem. To develop enterprise server system, there are gonna be a PCB or SMT company. There's a cable company or CNC MCT to build the chip. We also need a boxing packing, material drawing. We need a lot of engineers and design for PCB board or design for chips. So SK Telecom has invested to our local companies, especially KTNF, to build our local ecosystem. And the second approach is we reference the OCP documents a lot. So it's like a textbook when you don't have enough knowledge to build enterprise systems. So there are various projects we can reference to. So for example, the server project have a great specification. They have 3D drawings and they have all those manuals that we can study. So we could reduce the development cost and we could shorten the development cycle to build enterprise server. And to increase the efficiency of the server, you need large fans, where you need to share power, or you need to share a charge to make efficient system. If we will not have the OCP, then I would test everything to verify that this design is the efficient than the other. So as a result, we could improve our technical skills, not only the SK Telecom, but also our business partners, engineers. They learn how to make enterprise systems by helping us OCP. And additionally, we may get promotion effect by joining the OCP. So this is our result. AF-Media all-flash storage server. Our first target of AF-Media is for video streaming. So we want to expand the application to high-performance file system where it can be used CDN, where it can be used a cache server. AF-Media is high density because it accommodates 16 SSD drives less than 1 U size. It is high bandwidth. It is especially strong in small block I/O because it's all flash. And it also supports 4 GB. Availability, it supports node hot swap. If one node is failed, you can exchange the node without affecting the other. It's low power. So one node only consumes less than 150 watts. It's very energy efficient. So AF-Media server, form factor of AF-Media server is 2U high and 19-inch with front access design. So why 2U? We want to maximize efficiency. In 1U server, you will have the 40 millimeter fan. By making a 2U, we can use 60 millimeter fan. Why 19-inch? All the IDC in Korea, maybe the other countries, but basically uses 19-inch rack to enable to maximize the usage of our server. We want to have a 19-inch server, and it has the 2 nodes. So this is AF-Media computing board, which is the Xeon D SoC. So I brought our board. So if you are interested, our board. So the computing board has Intel Xeon D 1540. So we recently updated, revised our computing board with Xeon D 1548 this year. So the board is just got last week. So it has an 8-core and 16 thread, and speed is 2 gigahertz with and 2.6 with the turbo mode. And most of all, the TDP is less than 45 watts. And it supports DDR4 RDIMM, 2-channel with a 4 DIMM slot. You can get up to 128 gigabytes of memory. For OS, you use SATA SSD, 64 gigabytes. For the network terminal flash, we use the OCP mezzanine flash for our network. By using OCP mezzanine, we could reduce our development cost, and we could offer various different kind of options to our customers. So you can get a 1G card, 10G card, 4G card, or you can choose the vendor, Intel, Chelsea, Mellanox. So if we developed our mezzanine card, we couldn't be able to do that. Also, we could remove the vendor locking. For the storage guided connection, our board has the PCIe Gen 3 by 16. So since our AF-Media server offers as PCIe card option, each card takes PCIe Gen 3 by 8. And the server can have 2 SSD cards. For the system management, it has the ASP ASP2400. It's popular BMC, and it's connected to USB port, VJ port, and OOB management port, and the sensors on the board. So AF-Media has very unique storage module design to accommodate 16 SSDs, less than 1 use space. If you look at the cross-section picture here, there's a OCP mezzanine network card in front, and there's a Xeon D SoC that connects to the radio controller. And there's a 15mm fan, and to connect radio controller with this backplate, we use a cable chain. It turns out that the cable chain is the very efficient way to connect between storage slab and the computing board, because it's very cheap and it works very well in tiny space. If you look at the storage slab, there is a 4x4 SSD bay and 4x4 SSD stereo LED, which is mapped to SSD 4x4 SSD bay. So if one SSD fails, the red light is on the LED side, and the operator can know which one is the best. On the front panel side, there's a global SSD activity and global SSD fault LED also, so that operator can know that there's a failed SSD in the storage slab. In terms of the system reliability and availability, it supports load hot swap. So if one server is failed, you can just change the server without operating slab. It also supports the hot swap, so you can change the SSD without stopping the service. This also is supposed redundant PSU 1+1. So we took the performance test, video streaming with HLS, HTTP live streaming protocol. So as you can see, with a UHD content, which requires 35 megabps of the bandwidth per user, we could get about 38 gigabps for throughput. Even if the small file content with SD, we could get about 33 gigabps of throughput out of AF-Media server. This table shows a comparison between current video streaming system with our AF-Media. The current system, the form factor of current system is a 5U5 it has two SAS hard disk array with one computing node. It has an Intel Xeon D SoC system, and the power consumption of the system is about 880 watts. So by replacing our power consuming system with AF-Media S16, we could reduce the density and the power consumption over 80%. So S16 model, which has SSD only consume less than 150 watts. And T2 model, which has two PCIe SSDs, only consume less than 130 watts, which is very efficient. For the future work, we do like to reduce the board first. So the front panel, which is very beautiful, I think, is made of aluminum, which is very relatively expensive and hard to make. So if we could replace the aluminum with a cheaper material like a plastic, we can reduce our board also. And our computer system has 700 watt PSU. Since two nodes only consume less than 300 watts, if we can lower the PSU capacity, we can also lower the board size. For OS storage, SATA is kind of fading out from the market, and the price of NDOC2 is very competitive these days. So we'd like to replace SATA to NDOC2. New SoC, if there's an application that needs more core, there's a latest Intel Xeon D CPU which has 16 cores, so we can make new SoC computing board for our system. More capacity. Hynix has 2 terabyte SSDs coming this year. So you can have 32 terabytes per node and 64 terabytes total. Complete to less design. There is some component that needs to remove from the system. So by modifying our chassis design, we want to be a complete to less system. Open BMC support. BMC firmware requests license fee by porting Open BMC. I think the fix is already done with Xeon D SoC in Yosemite system. We also reduce the BOM cost further. And we'd like to contribute our design to the community as we gotta help a lot from the OCP. For the future plan, so we are developing NVMe array right now. I met Chris last November, but we had planned this NVMe array project before we met Chris. So when we had a meeting with the festival, we both recognized that we have the same project or similar project. So why old flash and why old PCIe? If you look at the graph here, 2 lanes of PCIe Gen 3 offer more than 3 times of performance compared to SATA, and only 4% increase in power, which means that PCIe is the very efficient way to connect high performance storage with host. So, and why it's not a server, why it's an array? Because NVMe is so powerful, NVMe moves I/O bottleneck from the storage to other components like a CPU or network. So think about if you have a 24 NVMe's in a system with a 2 socket CPU, the CPU will be saturated repeatedly, or network will saturate. So the ratio between NVMe SSD and CPU has become very, very important. So this is our target specification. This is pretty challenging spec, I think. The form factor will be 19-inch 1RD with a 2.5-inch NVMe SSD. The number of SSD will be 24. we will use same SAS cable with the lightning, fast lightning use. And the number of hosts will be 6. The theoretical total bandwidth will be 36, about 36 kilobytes. So SK Telecom is collaborating with Facebook and Intel to develop and bring SSD array. And the first prototype will be released this October at the Flash Memory Summit. Also, we plan to contribute our design to OPC Open Compute project, and we look forward to see you next year. Thank you very much. With that, we have an AF-Media is on display at SK Hynix booth. Please come and see our results. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me. Thank you.
So, if there's any question, we have a few minutes. If not, I think we have until 12:30 time for lunch. So, run.